Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am here to discuss few previous exam question papers of GTU for the subject Computer Programming and Utilization. From Unit 1, draw block diagram of computer and explain each block. This question was asked in different ways in many of the papers, like draw block diagram of computer system and explain its various components. Now, here as it is explicitly told that we must draw the block diagram, so you can draw this simple version or you can draw this version. If I am talking about the simple version, you can show input device, you can show all the different parts of your CPU, that is memory, control unit, arithmetic logic unit. Then you have secondary memory, you can show the control unit interconnections, you can show the output device. Whenever you draw any diagram, please label it properly, because your diagram will show maximum things that you have understood about this question. Try to label it as much clearly as possible. Once you have drawn the diagram, specify the details of each component, as the question was asking you to explain the block diagram of your computer, right? So we need to also explain the individual parts of your computer system. So first you can explain what do you mean by input device. This is a device that we need to give data to your computer or any instruction to your computer. Then in your CPU you have memory, that is you have two types of memory, primary memory and secondary memory. Primary memory you can write about RAM and ROM, random access memory and read-only memory. Then you have control unit, which takes care of all the controlling from input to output, and memory units and arithmetic and logical unit. In arithmetic and logical unit, most of the calculation works are done, that you can specify. Then secondary memory is required to have permanent storage, and you can discuss about output device, which are the output device are basically used to see the results of the computer processing that is done. So you can discuss that different output devices like monitor, printer, plotter are available. You can also draw this kind of block diagram, and as you can see, CPU, ALU, internal communication, you have registers, you have controller. This is a detailed description of your computer system, where you are also showing input devices, you have keyboard, mouse, joystick, everything you have specified over here. Then you are also showing how the communication is happening between each blocks, right? So this way, first you draw the diagram, then you try to explain all the components, but do not write many things, just write brief description of what do you mean by input device, what do you mean by output device, right? What do you mean by CPU, what are the different parts of CPU, what do you mean by memory. Just that much is enough for a question like this. And we can try to draw the diagram as neatly as possible with all the required labels. So this example can be taken for drawing the block diagram. But whatever references you are referring, whether it is from the web resources or any reference material, select the one which you understand, which you are able to properly answer it, so that you don't have to memorize anything, right? Then next question that was asked from Unit 1, and many of the paper it was asked, explain various symbols used in flowchart. Even you have one question, what is algorithm and flowchart? Explain both with suitable example. Now in this case, when you are explaining about algorithm, what is an algorithm? It is a sequence of steps that should be followed to solve a particular problem, right? एक्चुअली जब हम अपनी तरह से सोचते हैं कि कोई प्रॉब्लम दिया गया है मुझे, कैसे 2 नंबर का एडिशन करना है, तो हम अपने दिमाग में क्या सोचते हैं कि पहले एक नंबर लेना है, फिर दूसरा नंबर लेना है, फिर दोनों का एडिशन परफॉर्म करना है और उसका रिजल्ट हमें प्रिंट करना है. ये जो चीज़ हम अपने दिमाग में स्टेप सेटअप करते हैं, वही चीज़ें हमें कंप्यूटर को देनी है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन. सो इसकी सीक्वेंस इंपॉर्टेंट है, आप किस तरह से उसे दे रहे हो, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. सो प्लीज सी दैट यू राइट दिस लाइक दिस. You can write this like this: an algorithm is a sequence of steps that should be followed to solve a particular problem. If any of the steps you are writing not in a proper way, then your algorithm will result into a wrong answer which you are not expecting, right? So sequential steps for a particular solution, this is the important word in your answer. You may specify like this, right? And no need to write specific to any book terms. Okay, in this book definition is given like this. Try to write in your own words the real thing what you have understood. Simple language, algorithm means it is a step to come to a particular solution of a problem, right? Then you can give one example of algorithm, right? So this is one example. Again I am saying algorithm you can write it in your own words. You have to just give the steps of the solution, right? So this is one sample algorithm. You don't have to remember that इसी तरह का syntax लिखना है. No, आप अपने टर्म्स में ही अल्गोरिदम को बनाएंगे और उसे लिखेंगे अपने शब्दों में, बट उसको स्टेप्स के फॉर्म में देना है आपको ताकि वो शॉर्ट हो जाए. Now see, this is one algorithm. Find whether the given number is divisible by 3. तो steps क्या हो सकते हैं? First step is always your starting step. Then you have input number, क्योंकि आप यूजर से एक नंबर लेने वाले हो, राइट? फिर उस नंबर को आप डिवाइड बाई 3 करके देखेंगे. अगर रिमाइंडर 0 है, दैट मीन्स कि वो नंबर डिविजिबल बाई 3 है. सो इफ रिमाइंडर इक्वल टू 0, देन गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्टेप, अदरवाइज गो टू स्टेप नंबर 6. नाउ दिस ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको इसी तरह लिखना है, आप अपने शब्दों में लिखिए, बट शॉर्ट में लिखना है आपको, बहुत लंबे लाइन्स नहीं लिखने हैं, राइट? क्योंकि algorithm is a concise form also, right? Then print number is divisible by 3. अगर वो divisible है, go to step 7. 7 में क्या है? print. तो आप जब यहाँ पे कंडीशन दे रहे हो तो क्या वो कंडीशन के हिसाब से आपने नंबरिंग दिया है यहाँ पर, वो भी आपको चेक करना है, ठीक है? सो दिस वे यू कैन गिव इट. What is a flowchart? Flowchart is a pictorial representation of an algorithm, right? It shows the logic of an algorithm. It emphasizes individual steps and their interconnection. Example, control flow from one action to the other. You can show one example of flowchart. One question was asking for different symbols. So you can give in a tabular form you can show, or you can just specify like this, okay, this is the symbol for terminal symbol which is used for start and end, right? This is input output symbol. You can show this as a process symbol, right? So for this question you can answer this way. This is a connector question, connector symbol, and this is decision making symbol. So when explain the various symbols used in flowchart, you have to show this different symbols and their meaning. You can show in a tabular form just as I have shown here. Then you can as they have asked for one example also, so you can show this example. This is a flowchart which is doing summation of 50 numbers. Now as I told you, algorithm is a sequential step. Similarly, flowchart is going to depict that algorithm into pictorial form, right? So you have a starting point, then what you are doing, summation is equal to 0, then you are doing n is equal to 0. These are the steps that we are going to follow to come to the summation of 50 numbers, right? Then you have n is equal to n plus 1, then you are doing sum is equal to sum plus n. Now see, what is important over here, start का symbol क्या है, आपको वो appropriate symbol बनाना है, right? Start का symbol ये है, processing का symbol ये है, that is a rectangle, right? Then for decision making you have this diagonal symbol. For reading and writing purpose, that is output, you have parallelogram symbol, right? एंड सिंबल के लिए आपके पास ये सिंबल है. एंड आप लूप कैसे बता सकते हो, इस तरह से आपने यहाँ पर एरो बना के आपने वो लूप स्ट्रक्चर बनाया है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू शुड ट्राई टू ड्रॉ द फ्लो चार्ट. वंस अगेन लेट मी डिस्कस दिस फ्लो चार्ट. इट स्टार्ट्स फ्रॉम स्टार्ट, इट विल इनिशियलाइज सम वेरिएबल इक्वल टू 0, देन इट विल इनिशियलाइज n इक्वल टू 0, देन n इक्वल टू n प्लस 1, यानी फर्स्ट नंबर हमने लिया है, राइट? देन सम इज इक्वल टू सम प्लस n, देन दिस n विल बी कंपेयर्ड विथ 50 बिकॉज वी वांट टू गो अप टू 50 numbers, right? And we are performing repetition of the work, so addition of 50 numbers, right? Then it will print sum. Now see, here main part is this, is n equal to 50, condition is false, then it will go back and it will increment n is equal to n plus 1, do the summation, again it will check for n, right? Because मुझे 1 से 50 तक के numbers का summation चाहिए, right? इसके बाद अगर 50 हो जाता है तो उसके बाद क्या print होना चाहिए, that I have to specify over here. I hope you can draw the flowchart now. Now from unit 2 there was one question, explain different data types used in C language. Now there are basically 3 types of data in C language supported by C language. One is primary or fundamental data types, right? Second is derived data type, and third is user defined data type. You can show it as a flowchart, as a simple chart, or you can show it this way. Then in primary data type you have integer, float, character, void and double as data type. So you can discuss what is integer, what is float, what is character, what is void, what is double. Now in derive you have arrays, functions, structures, pointers and union. No need to write whole theories about arrays, function and structures or pointers. You can just specify array is a collection of elements having similar data type. Functions are small modules of your program, right? Structures are collection of elements with different data types. Pointers are variables which are used to store the addresses of another variable. Union is same as structure, but what is the difference between the two? Union allocates common memory to all its members, right? At a time you can access only one variable data member of your union. Then in user define you have type def and enum. So these are the these help us to define existing data type with our own names or identifiers, right? So this way you can give the explanation for this question. Next question is, what do you mean by constants in C language? Explain the types of constants in detail. Constants in C refer to fixed values that do not change during the execution of a program. We must understand what do we mean by constants. These are the fixed values that do not change in our program. Now, how to define constants? We can define constants by writing hash define any variable, right? This way we can write hash define. For example, I am writing r and giving some value as 5. So this is how I can define constant value, right? Now I can also make it float value. For example, we are writing pi as 314, right? So here we can use pi hash define. Okay, so this way we can make any variable as constant. Another way is by using constant keyword. Constant, for example, integer a. So whatever value to a you are going to specify will become a constant value, right? So this is how you can discuss this question. You can also show this chart which is showing that constants are of two types. They are numeric constants and character constant. In numeric constants we have integer constant and real constant, that means our floating point number. Character constant we have single character constant and string constants. Now you can discuss further that integer constant, this way you can specify, right? Then integer constant for real constants also you can use constant variable and declare it, right? Now let us see what character constants you can have. A, for example, a equal to s, right? So this is one character constant, right? And when you have string, then you have to show it as a group of characters, right? For example, I am giving this way hello, then it is string constants. When you have specified some fixed value to any variable, then it becomes your constant. So you have to just discuss the definition, then give its type, and for each type you have to write two lines which tells about that. Okay, what do you mean by integer, what do you mean by real, what do you mean by single character constant and string constant. Now next question is, what is string? Explain any four string handling function. Character array is also known as string. When you want to store more than one character, I need to use character array. How to define character array? You have to write character. If I want to store my name, right, I can specify the size here, right? Or if I don't specify the size, it will directly take it by counting the number of characters in the given string, right? Now this by default will have arrangement like this: hello, and at the end you have \0. This is string terminator or null value, right? So when I am accessing individual element, this is a 0th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this is 5th position. Each and every character array must have one location extra for storing \0 null value, which is the end of your string, right? So you can discuss like this: what is string? String is a group of characters. It is represented as character array in C. Then you can show this how to declare character array. You can also specify it with size also. You can also initialize the value, or simply you can just say str and give the size and read from user. How to read value? You can take scanf and you can use %s to read the value, right? So you can discuss this thing. Then they are asking, explain any four string handling function. Now what do I mean by string handling? Okay, so I have two string. One string is as str1. This string is having hello, right? Hello, and you will have \0 and str2 world. hello world. At the end you will have \0. When you are reading your value using scanf, \0 will be appended automatically. If you are reading your string with getS function, then also it will be appended automatically. Now what are the string handling function? You have strcpy as one function, right? You want to copy string 1 into some other string. For example, you have declared str3 previously, so I want to copy str1 into str3. So here you have destination, you have source. So this is one string handling function that is available in string.h file, right? Second function that you can show is strcat, where you can str1 comma str2, you can concatenate two string. Concatenate two string means what? ये पहली string है, इसके बाद में आप ये दूसरी string को add करना चाहते हो. You want to append it at the end, right? So in this case what will happen? This \0 will be removed and उसकी जगह पे world add होगा और उसका \0 खुद ब खुद आ जाएगा. So ये execute होने के बाद str1 के अंदर आपके पास hello world string होगी, right? Next, you can also nest this function. That means strcat, again inside this argument you have str3 comma strcat, str1 comma str2. So str1 str2 will be first concatenated. Whatever the result is there, that will be concatenated to str3, right? So strcpy, strcat, these are two functions. Then you have to explain four functions. So you have strcmp, right? Now what it does? str1 comma str2, right? strcmp, it helps us to compare two strings if they are equal or not. If both the strings are equal, then it will give you value 0. If str1, if the value is greater than 0, that shows that for example, I have HELLO and HE